We welcome back to the show this morning Dr. Craig Douglas for another week of Educating Mid-Michigan. This week we are talking more about safe social media and what you can do, because we were just chatting, it's ingrained in our lives.
It is.
Kids have grown up, that's all they know.
That's right.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's great to be here. So I was in the audience last Friday at Saginaw Valley State University, and the Merida Institute for Peace and Happiness sponsored a workshop. I'm going to call it a workshop, but it was a conference. And the presenter, Bailey Parnell, was a very impressive young lady, and she based her talk, her ideas on research. So it's well-founded. I mean, you and I have hunches about what's going on, but she had the actual data to support it. So I'd like to highlight, she had a whole list of risk factors with social media. And let me be clear, she wasn't against social media,
right,
but she was pointing out, based on her research, risk factors. I'm going to just extract a couple to highlight.
You have the floor. Yeah, go through some of these.
And I'm going to say, I didn't know this until before. I guess I knew of it, but this term, FOMO.
FOMO.
Yep, the fear of missing out. And Matt, I'm guilty of that in terms of if I start to kind of pay attention to the Tigers score, I want to check my phone to see what the progress of the game is, especially now that they're doing well. Well, teens, adolescents have the same fear of missing out of whatever it is they're connected to in their media.
It's a mental burden.
It is. And so they stay connected and they stay connected and they stay online and they stay attached. And so minutes become hours. So that's a big risk factor of social media. FOMO,
Yeah,
fear
watch
of
how much
missing out.
time they're on there, right?
Correct.
What else you get out of this session?
Well, kind of tied to that is loneliness. Now, it's kind of a paradox in my mind. Social media, you'd think you'd be more social, and I think you can be, but it also can promote loneliness. And I think of occasionally I go into a restaurant, and I'm not finding fault, but you'll see mom and dad and maybe a couple of children, and they'll all be on their devices, not communicating to each other. Yeah. So that's an example of loneliness. Mm-hmm. They're engaged in social media. They might even be texting each other, but they're not interacting socially.
Going back to the loneliness factor too, I mean, you've heard the expression, comparison is the thief of joy. That's
yes.
the whole spiel of social media. They're comparing themselves to others, right?
Exactly, and that's a big pitfall, isn't it?
Yes. Any other final thoughts for
the other one's a very obvious one. That's sedentary behavior. I think of the playgrounds that we drive by, and again, I'm not passing judgment, but it's a true observation. The playgrounds today are less occupied than they used to be back in the day for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons could be contributed by social media. In other words, kids are at home on devices engaged in social media rather than being active and out and about physically. So those are three of her risk factors. I encourage viewers to take a look at her. Bailey Parnell, she has a very engaging TED Talk, if you're into that. And her website, I think, is all slurred together, no spaces, baileyparnell.com.
Yes, and we were just chatting too. You had a lot of more thoughts and takeaways from this, so we may do a part 2 in this, we'll see. But as always, you can send in any education-related questions for our Educating Mid-Michigan segment by emailing us at goodmorning@abc12.com. But you have definitely given us something to chew on this morning.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.